Well, you all know what a math set is. You know, being a math set. If you're going back, I remember my math set, man. These young Ghanaians have come up with what they call a science set. And let me give you a few reactions to this science set, right? The Ghana Institution of Engineers have given them an award as the most excellent engineering innovation. Show them some love. Not only that, then the American Society of Mechanical Engineers rated it as one of the top 3 innovations that will change Africa. Show some love. Not that then the Royal Academy of Engineers in the UK also rated it as the 2nd best innovation to come out of Africa. Amazing. And finally, just a few weeks ago, the African Human Resource and Science and Technology Commission of the AU described it as the most educational solution in Africa. And this was created by 2 guys from Kumasi, man. Put your hands together. Let's welcome the first one, Mr. Charles Antipe. All right. Oh, please. And the next guy is Mr. Michael Asante. Oh, man. I'm so impressed. This is, I don't know how to tell what I'm feeling now, man, but I'm so proud of you. Hey, Kumasi boys.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And it's such an honor to be here. I mean, I've been watching this show like since it began. Like, I just love it, and it's such an honor to be here.
Wow.
Put your hands together.
I'm also touched when I'm watching when I was a small boy. And now I'm grown, I'm here, you know. It's an honor for me to host you guys, man.
Very much.
And even before we start the discussion, guys, let's take a quick look at this conversation that took place right on this show a few weeks ago by Dr. Elise Kaufman. Take a look at this.
Just recently, the winners of the 2018 National Science and Math Quiz went to see the president, and I was there. And the young men, one of them spoke very eloquently. They had been in a competition in Portugal, and you know, they won, so they are the best and brightest science students. But they couldn't do the competition. Wow. They didn't understand it because they couldn't even understand and recognize how the equipment they were given worked.
Wow. That's sad.
So they know all the theories. So the young man said they can tell you everything about the theories, they can describe everything, they can explain everything, but they cannot apply anything.
So when she made this statement, you know, this statement was trending because all of us are really concerned about the state of education and the and not the practical use of what we study. And right after that, these guys got in touch, man. There's a KSM. We agree with her 100%, but we've been working on this. And here it is. It's a science. So, let me start with you, Charles. You give me a little bit of a background. When you saw this, what happened?
So, you know, we've talked about this like for a very long time, that we don't have practicals in our schools and things like that. And seeing what the doctor said, you know, we have a solution, and it's about time we tell the world about it. And the science set we've created to be like a very simple and scalable solution. Something that we are familiar with, something that can work, something that is affordable. You can put it in any classroom and it will integrate. No need to put up a science lab. You don't even need to train the teacher that much. You put it there and it works.
What's your background?
I studied mechanical engineering.
In
KNUST, yes.
So you've always been a science buff, more or less?
Yes, I've always, you know, my dad was a science teacher for over 20 years in the Insuatre Presby School. And over that period of time, he didn't have much equipment to do practical science. But he had a bottle and then a funnel. It's kind of like a rain gauge. And every time it would rain, he would take me out to go and measure rainfall. So this was a just simple act, but then it got me so excited about science and, you know, measuring things and stuff like that, and then here I am today. So
that's how it all began?
That's how it all began.
Pretty much. And I mean, I must say, it's interesting. My dad is a scientist, soil scientist to be specific. Yes, one of the best somewhere here in Ghana. And then it's also interesting how in a similar fashion, he didn't do as many experiments with me as Charles's dad did, but there was just one. He actually took us to the lab and then showed us how to remove the color from a leaf, just to prove that chlorophyll is indeed needed for plant growth. And then that simple experiment blew my mind. In that day, I decided I'd be a scientist. I'd have to find some way to do that experiment by myself one of these days. And yes, it's just brought me thus far. Yeah.
So you're both children of scientists.
Yes.
Practical scientists, if I may add. Okay. So you had your experience, he had his. And so what clicked? What was that moment that clicked that let's put together a science set?
So one of the things we used to do was we'd go to my hometown in Swatre, when we have vacation, and then we'll go and then we buy some materials and tools, and then we'll teach the kids. After Sunday, we'll bring them to some 3B and then teach them some practical science. And they realized that the teachers were like, oh wait, where can I find this to buy? How can I have access to this too? So we started thinking. The teachers, yes. We started thinking, because what if we could create a solution for this once and for all? And then, whilst we were thinking, they hit us. If there's a mathematical set, why can't we have a science set? A teacher walks into class and says, oh, today we're going to learn about magnetism. So pick your science set, take this component out, and write on your desk. Let's build some magnets. Let's do some practical science.
So that's when you decided you do them.
And just to add, for me, it was one of those things when you see a child excited about some of the things that he's been able to create. You meet them on the street and they had their own project works. They'll bring in, they'll show to you, say, this is what I've been able to do. It's a flashlight. It shows, he's able to walk around with it in the dark. It's interesting. In Swatre, it's a little dark, and then you'd walk on the street and then you see like children with their own handmade torchlights. And
this information they gathered from using the science set?
Just that. We had to find a way to make sure that every child could have that experience.
Wow. Yeah. Wow. So let's see what's in the science set and what the people get to experience when they see the science set.
Absolutely. So the science set is really, really simple. It's just about the size of a textbook, right? And yet it contains about 45 individual components. 45 individual components that can be used to perform a variety of activities. So it has in there the electromagnetic stuff. So they have the ion filings, the metal core, the solenoid. They have electronic components in there, the resistors, the transistors, the capacitors, the buzzers, LEDs. They have
45 components?
45 different components inside there, right? So inside it, you have all of those components nicely arranged into different sort of sections. So you have the power supply section, the light section, the electromagnetism section, and then the electrical circuit and the basic electronics section. So I'd come to you and then show you a simple activity.
Sure. Okay, folks, stick around just for a quick second, and when we come back, we'll show you the activity.
The last time he was on stage was in 2014. Some said he had retired. Guess what? The godfather of comedy is back in a hilarious show. KSM Unchained. A world-class masterpiece satire. A Bayer Wild Rough. December 7th.
At the National Theatre, 4 p.m. and 8 p.m.
Stay tuned.
The KSM Show.
Okay, so we're going to do a very simple experiment. We're going to learn about this electronic component called a resistor. So we're going to do that using our LED. We've done our first connection, which is connect the positive to the negative of our battery. We just simply slot it in here like that. Okay, very simple. And then the next one would be from the resistor and then to our LED. Right. So we are now going to do the final connection. So if you do me the honors, engineer KSM.
This goes in right here.
Excellent. All right. You just built yourself a simple electrical circuit and you are producing light right about now. So they go on. What is the function of this component? What does it really do in the circuit? So to find that, they do a simple activity. They change this resistor, which is 330, to a much higher resistor, which is 10,000 ohms. So let's do that and see what happens. We put our new resistor into the circuit. Do you notice any difference in the circuit?
The LED is dimmer.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So this is because the resistor has increased. The resistance here, we've increased it, and therefore it's opposing the flow of current much more than it was when it was a smaller resistor. So the LED is dimmer. So the students get the concept. They never forget it. This is how we want learning to be in every classroom in the country.
Really fantastic. But I see that this science set that said 45 components.
Yeah.
I see things, ion filings. So what else do the kids learn from using the science set?
So in total, they're able to conduct about 40 different experiments using the science set, ranging from electromagnetism, the understanding of the principles of light. They're also able to treat sound and how the sound travels in the speed of sound, which changes in different
And all of this.
all of that can actually be. And the interesting thing is that all of this is tied to their school curriculum, which means that the teacher can actually walk in with a science set and then teach from their textbook practical science right on the desks of the students. Yeah.
Wow. Give it up, man. So how many students have this? What's the demand like? I mean, how many? Do you get calls? You've all these awards.
So currently we have, we are nearing 19,000 students across the country and outside of the country who have access to the science set. So
they've bought it?
Yes. So we have countries like Kenya, like Nigeria, South Africa, and the United States of America, where we have schools in Tucson, Arizona, who actually are using the science because they're, of course, they're underfunded schools there as well. So they use the science to teach practical science.
Wow, wow. Are you guys like making lots of money? It's not about the money though, but I'm talking about this. You know, entrepreneurship is all about also filling a need, because this is a massive need, you know. So, yeah.
One interesting thing is that we currently basically only sell the science set just so we can make enough to make the next set. So we are really, really like passionate about the potential of what this can mean. Because you see, one student in Brekusu, it's a town near Ashasi University, after using the science set, she was living in an uncompleted building. And now, usually when the lights go off and whatever, she has to go to her friend's house to go and do her homework. So after using the science set, she went back home, after learning how to build circuit and building lights like this. She took cardboard, recycled cardboard, made a 4-square box, and put lights on each side of the box, and put the batteries and wires in the middle. So that when she covers it and lights it up, the box is illuminated all around, and then 4 of her friends can now come to her house and sit around the box and do their homework.
Wow, wow.
You know, and this is what we're seeking that every Ghanaian child be able to do. That when they see a problem, they're able to immediately think a solution to that problem, not simply, you know, think of it as if it's someone else's job to solve their problem. And that's what we're pushing for with the science set.
So the science set manufacturing plant, should I call it that? This is based in Kumasi?
Yes.
And how many people have you employed to work on this?
We currently employ about 9 people permanently, and close to 26 people indirectly. Sometimes they come as casual workers and then they go. And we have, we are still building the team, continuing to actually employ more people as the demand begins to grow for this.
Are teachers contacting you? This is like a great tool in the hands of teachers.
From everywhere, KSM. In fact, just yesterday, I was just like randomly, the teacher just sent me a WhatsApp message. You know, we have our numbers on the box. So he took the number and just sent me a message. He's like, "Thank you very much, sir. Teaching science has never been this easy for me."
Wow.
Teaching
science
has never been this easy for me.
Wow.
My students have never been this excited in the science class. And that is the sort of thing, like when you, and to think that, like I was saying, my dad was a science teacher, and then the idea that today science teachers like himself are finding this product very useful, and in the classroom, it is making change. It is transforming the way we learn math and science. And that keeps us going.
No, it's amazing. And for all the teachers or schools that happen to be listening, what's the number that anybody can call it? The number is on the box, but give us the number.
So they can call us on 0209 394141. Okay. They can also call us on 020 911 5526.
Okay. The numbers on the screen now, man, and especially teachers and schools, instead of you go into a science room and you have a drawing like this on the board, not as neatly done. This is a hand-drawn writing. Instead of this writing, show them this. Walk them through the practical. And that's what Dr. Elsie Common was complaining about the other time, that we have the true pass and forget, but we have no clue how it is to do it practically. Look at this girl, Abrekusu, who did it. And look at this science teacher who says teaching science has never been made so easy or fun.
Yes.
Or both. So your company is Dext?
Yes.
Dext Technology.
Dext Technology.
Yes.
Amazing. So it comes with its own manual. This is for the science. Yeah. Beautiful manual. Okay. Wow. Fantastic. And I see an award there. This is something you grabbed, one of the many?
Yes, one of the awards that you mentioned. So that's from the AU. That's the One Africa Award. The Science was adjudged as the most innovative education solution in Africa.
Wow. Put your hands together. All we can say is congratulations, man.
Thank you.
You've been so far, Royal Academy, of American Society. You've gone so far, man. And what's the next step?
One of the things that we really want to do is to work with more organizations. Because currently, close to 60% of all the sets that are out there, like the set that was sent to this Bekusu girl, for instance, was from the Australian aid. Right? So we are looking to work with a lot more partners, a lot more organizations, their corporate social responsibility and stuff like that. Work with us, we brand the science set, and then we donate it to any school of your choice. So we are looking for it. In fact, we're actually going to donate 10 sets branded KSM show. So we look forward to working with more organizations and brand the set and put it out there. And be able to drive demand and be able to produce these sets and make sure that in the not too distant future, every single student will be able to have, just like they have a mathematical set, have a science set in their bags.
Show some love, man. Show some love. This is so beautiful. Sometimes, Ghana gets me and say, I get so frustrated. But then I meet young guys like this, and then everything just dies down. I say, oh, there's hope, man. There is hope. Show some love, man. Keep it up. What kind of support are you getting?
So it's been really phenomenal. So the first ever organization that gave us some really good support was the Kumasi Hive. So they gave us Kumasi Hive, yes, in Kumasi. So they gave us access to an office space. We've also had really amazing support from the Ministry of Science and Technology. We've also had some really good support from the Kofi Annan Center for Excellence in ICT. All of these organizations have been phenomenal, but there's the need for more. Like I said, we need to have access to more partners, more organizations to continue to push this agenda.
I'm sure I'm going to be hearing more bigger, better things about you on this science set, man. Okay. So stick around, folks. We'll be right back.
Audio Jungle.